What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Instant Replay. This is your man, Big B, Brian Hanley, with our guy, CC, Chris Claiborne. Claiborne, what is going on, my man? How was your week?
Fantastic week. I got a buddy who's really into the, college basketball thing. So I hang out with him a lot. He's excited. So it's exciting week for both of us.
I mean, March Madness is here. I mean, it's the most exciting time as far as a sports fan that there could possibly be. So, everybody's got to be excited about March Madness. Everybody. And this year, we got a little star power, even on the women's side. The women's side. You may not know all the names of the men, but everybody knows at least Caitlin Clark on the women, CC.
I would say, only on the women's side is there any star power. But I'm going to talk
Absolutely.
about a couple guys that I like to watch when we get into it, but, that may make a name for themselves. Because this is where, as an NBA fan, this is where you first hear about those guys that make a name for themselves and show up 5 years later on that second deal going to the Lakers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm ready for March Madness to get going. That's what we got today. We got a little March Madness, talking a little, something is banned in the state of Texas. We'll get to that, a little NFL free agency, and then TikTok is possibly going to be banned. We'll cover all that. But again, we want to thank everybody for being here. We appreciate you guys. Remember, come and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to Big B Sports Talk already, please do. Make sure that you comment not only in the chat if you're watching us live, but outside the live. That really helps us out to actually make comments on the video. Subscribe, like, and another thing, click and hit the notification bell so that because we come on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Time every week. That notification bell will let you know that Instant Replay is here, people. It is here.
Yeah, I'm tired of having to send people links every Tuesday. You know when it's coming on. Hit the bell.
Exactly. Now, as a reminder, we have a poll that we do on whoever wins the debate. Now, the last 2 weeks, it's been rigged.
Okay.
There's been faulty. I'm taking the Trump aspect. It's been a rigged election. It was a rigged election. I don't like it. So let's get back to normal this week, people. Let's get back to normal on who won. Okay. Let's not get off the rails or anything like that. No more rigged elections. Okay.
Yeah, I ordered a little swag, but my jeweler doesn't have it done before this week. So for those of you guys on that poll, I need to win one Mogan so that I can sport the new instant replay swag that is only for winners. So I'm looking for a three-peat, Big B. Looking for a three-peat.
Never been a three-peat in the NFL. Never been a three-peat. Well, I guess there was a three-peat. I mean, because I've won every week until we started rigging elections. So that's beside the point. That's beside the point. Let's get going. Let's get it going. So NFL, or not NFL, March Madness. Excuse me. March Madness.
Yeah.
Look, best time of the year. Like I said, for me, Chris, the March Madness is, as far as postseason play, it's the most exciting outside of the NFL. NFL 1, March Madness 2. You get 3 weeks of wall-to-wall basketball, men and women. And again, this is one of the first years that a lot of people are going to be paying attention to women, but it's a real thing now. Just college basketball at its finest. I absolutely love March Madness, Chris.
I will debate you on the best postseason, but I am ready for March Madness. Let's just say that. I like my sports a little more predictable, as it was proven in boxing, that everybody likes a favorite. And you go to the NBA, you know what you guys are going to get, and they make it just as dramatic and draw it out over your whole summer pretty much. So I prefer that, but I hear your love for the the instant glory, the no names and the upsets. So I get it. I'll tell you, I get it. I've never been a fan, but I'm trying to get better at it. How about that?
I can dig that. I can dig that. Look, the thing about it is, and you know what I'm going to say, you know what I'm going to go with? The pageantry, the old pageantry of college basketball. Look, it's win or go home.
Yeah,
Win or go home. Survive in advance. You know,
right.
it doesn't get much better than this. It's just college kids out there, some of them playing their last game, leaving it all on the line. It doesn't get much better than that. You know, there's a ton of pomp. I know you don't like pomp and circumstance.
I
There
don't.
is
I
a
don't.
ton
I
of pomp
don't.
and circumstance.
Yeah, that's where you miss me on all the, that's kind of my thing on storming the court and all that stuff. Just some of the pomp and circumstance is just a little bit much. But, I get it. The pageantry, the drama, there's a reason. I see it. I don't agree, but I see it. Okay.
Yeah. You know, and so this year, let's talk about it, dig a little deeper here.
Sure.
So on the men's side, look, there's some teams. Well, first of all, parity in college basketball is absolutely, it's at an all-time high. It's at an
Right.
all-time high. However, there are some teams and some things that you can look at that kind of separate one from another. For instance, UConn, best team in the country, right up there. Houston, right up there with them, best team in the country. The thing that they have, Chris, and people should look at, they got to have good guard play. You know, you got to have good guard play to be able to win in the NCAA tournament. They have
Yeah.
both of those teams have that. Then you got to have athletic bigs. Both of those teams have that. You got to have a coach that's experienced and knows how to make adjustments on the fly. Both teams clearly have that. Kelvin Sampson is one of the best in the country. Danny Hurley proved it. He won the whole thing last year. So you have, and they're older. They're older teams. So when you have those mixes, I think those are the two favorites. Obviously, they were the two top seeds, but when you have teams like that, sometimes they separate themselves from everybody
Well,
else.
I'm going to kind of get into why you talk about the favorites. You got to have that steady guard play, and you got to comment in there about a team being too slow. We all know the tournament. You really win. The advantage is changing the tempo, playing at a different tempo. Than you normally than the other team wants to play at. So that's where a coach and great guard play comes in. So you're absolutely right. When you talked earlier before we got on here, steady guards, is Houston and UConn. But it's going to be who can get who to change tempos. To Buddy's point about Houston being too slow, not if they can slow everybody else down, right? So
Well, the thing about it
I,
is, if they can slow everybody up, they guard so well. They
right,
play such tenacious defense. They're going to slow you down. They're going to stop you from doing what you want to do. You
right,
know, and I wouldn't say Houston plays too slow. They just play at their pace. There's a
right.
difference between playing slow and playing at your pace. That comes back to having good guard play, to having things under control.
But if your pace is noticeably slower than everybody else's, it's just a matter of time before it gets a little frantic, and you got to have that experienced coach and or the veteran guards who don't get a little too tight in the draws. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
there you go. That butthole gets super tight.
That butthole gets tight. So and so I agree. Those are my I think the clear favorites are the three. Is like you said, UConn, Houston, and Purdue are not really the dark horses, but anything can happen. I got a couple long shots in there, but this is not my forte. So I'm going to default to you. I'm still filling out my bracket as we speak.
Hey, still filling it out. Unbelievable. I filled out like 15 of them already. But I get it. I get it. I get it.
Huh?
Here's the thing. Like a team like Purdue, people are going to write them off because the last 2 years they've got upset. One year they got beat by St. Peter's. I mean, that ended up costing me money because my wife went out and bought a St. Peter's sweatshirt. And then last year they got beat by Fairleigh Dickinson in the first round. Now, look, Purdue's not losing in the first round this year. That's not going to happen.
Right.
But I will say this. In their second round game, Chris, the teams that they are going to have to play both have athletic, strong, quick guards that can blow by people. And that's what Purdue has problems with. They just can't guard on the perimeter. That's been their problem the last 2 years, and that's why they've gotten beat. They can't keep people in front of them. That happens again. I'm telling you, look out, Chris. It could be upset city in the second round for Purdue again.
I mean, I see some people in the chat talking about put the mortgage on it. How sure are you on this upset here? Before I go gambling too much.
Yeah, I don't know that I would put any mortgages on it. I would relax, and
Yeah.
that's what I would do. What do we got here? What do we got here?
If
My
you
final
still have
four.
a mortgage, don't bet it, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, if you have a mortgage, don't bet it. This is the
Okay.
NCAA tournament. The people that do that are the ridiculous, derelict gamblers that can't help themselves, that are just begging for somebody to take their house away from them. That's what they're
Yeah.
doing. Because you can't, I mean, you're betting on kids, college kids. What are we doing here in the NCAA tournament? Come on, people. What are you doing? Be smarter than that. Be smarter than that. Two double-digit seeds, said Darren. Now that's smart. There's nothing wrong with that double digit, especially in today's day and age of parity. Having two double digit seeds in your final four, it can make sense. It can
No
make
way.
sense.
No way.
I mean, it happened last year. I
I
mean,
understand. I
three
understand.
teams that you never even, well, people heard of Miami, but nobody knows
Right.
who the hell Florida Atlantic is. Most people don't pay attention to San Diego State. I mean, and they were in the final. San Diego State was in the final game. I go, so it can happen. It absolutely can happen. Will it? I don't know if it's going to happen again this year. We'll see. We'll see. Here's somebody, Marquette. Kyle Lawrence, if you're betting on Marquette, bet me. So, okay, bet me. That's what I say. Bet me. And then, I will be glad to take your money. Because Marquette, I'm telling you, one of the most overrated coaches, Chris Claiborne, Shaka Smart. Ever since
Yeah.
he'd been living on 2011 VCU for 13 years. He's done nothing since then, and they're not going to do nothing again this tournament. Shaka Smart. Fraud. Absolute fraud.
I don't know. If I'm sitting on 13 years after one lightning strike, it's time for another, And I'm also here with Susie here on McNeese, off their selection dancing
Oh,
early. They
geez.
were jugging. So that they might be the pick.
I mean, they could have an upset first round. I get it. I get it. And that's where the tournament is most fun, isn't it? The first
Yeah.
round, you're seeing these teams, these double-digit seeds that you don't think can compete. And lo and behold, there they are with 2 minutes to go. They got the ball up 3.
Yeah.
So,
And,
it's
well,
absolutely incredible.
and that is not to put a blanket on your fire here, but that's why March Madness doesn't get that crazy to me. It's because the best time is early on, and as your bracket gets busted, I get less and less and less interested. Where every other postseason, I get more and more and more interested. Like you had to remind me that we watched the national championship last year together. I had completely forgotten because I think I'd thrown my bracket away after first couple games and probably was on suicide watch. So
I mean, the bracket is one thing. That's fun. But again, the pomp and but you're not into pomp and circumstance. That's the
no,
problem. The
no,
pomp and circumstance. But more importantly, the pageantry, the old pageantry. It's just great for good
wow,
old NCAA March Madness, man.
wow,
It's just,
unbelievable.
I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, I know a guy who's got a killer March Madness guide to help those out that are interested in more of the results than the pomp and circumstance.
It's very interesting that you bring that up. Is that there is a March Madness guide that you can click on the bio in YouTube or go directly to bigbmerch.com. Again, I'll repeat that, bigbmerch.com. Go pick you up a March Madness comprehensive guide, $5 ebook. Go get you one. It will help you win. For all you crazy, degenerate gamblers out there, and I know there's a few of you out there, go and pick you up one. Look, it's simple. $5. It breaks down everything. Coaches, what trends you need to be looking for. Guard play, is that important? If the team is hot or not, is that important? All those good things are all important. Go pick you up one. Again, it's $5. You can download it to your phone, laptop, iPad, whatever you want to look at it. Boom, boom, boom,
It's
boom. Very
yeah,
easy.
it's
We got a
not long.
little poll right here.
Hold
Who
on,
is
before you
more
get to that.
likely to win the national championship? UConn. A lot of people saying UConn.
Well, I
Houston,
mean,
Duke.
e-
Oh my
e-
God.
easy pick on UConn there. But before you breeze over that, the Big B merch, there's going to be some crazier stuff coming. Some instant replay chains, some likenesses of CC. So there's going to be better stuff than the
Oh
March
yeah.
Madness
Oh
guide
yeah.
coming
No.
soon.
We're just getting started.
Okay,
We are
okay,
literally just getting started. Goon
yep.
Squad T-shirt. There's gonna be a lot of stuff that comes out on Big B merch I don't
Yeah.
know about CC chains. We may want to put that on the back
Well,
burner. But Big
well,
D chains, we definitely want to do that. Definitely want
there's
to do that.
a lot of talk in the chat about me losing early, and this is
People
why you
aren't
stay to
lying.
the end, folks, because the next topic is all me. So we'll see.
Well, and that's we're going to get to that. Now, look, as a preference to the next topic, people. Now, look, if you've got children in the room, anybody younger than 18 years of age, you may want to send them on to the room somewhere else for the next 10 to 15 minutes because it's going to get a little raunchy. It's going to get a little raunchy. I'm throwing that out there. So, as a precursor to what we are going to talk about, I saw this little article. I'm going to read this off my phone.
Okay.
So, there is a lady, okay, St. Louis, Missouri, school teacher, okay? You mean it's a commendable job, school teacher. She got fired. All right, Chris, the school teacher, she's working
Hmm.
hard. She got fired. Unfortunately, it was because of her second job, which was found out she had an OnlyFans page. Okay.
Okay.
So, first of all, whoever was on there is an absolute rat. Okay, let's just get that out there. I mean, who's
Right.
snitching
Right.
on this woman? Unbelievable. Unless it was, I mean, I don't even think you can get on there if you're a student. Not that I would know. I've never been on OnlyFans. I don't know. I just heard. I heard through the grapevine.
Okay.
But the lady got fired. Her statement was this. Now, this is where her story goes off the rails for me. Yeah, I was only doing it to supplement my income. That would sound fine if the next statement out of her mouth wasn't, yeah, I was making $1 million a year to supplement her $42,000 a year school teacher salary. I'm like, and now I don't feel bad for you anymore. Before I thought maybe she's making a little bit of scratch, pay off some student loans, whatever the case may be. No, CC, $1 million
Yeah,
to
but
supplement.
is she more commendable because with $1 million she still chose to teach the kids. So she may have a true passion for being a school teacher, and we know that we don't make that easy here in this country. So she had to go out and supplement it. I don't see anything wrong except the person who told on her, because that means you were in two places you shouldn't be, more than likely, right?
Well, here's the thing. First of all, this woman is teaching our children. And if she is saying literally out loud to other people, I'm supplementing $42,000 a year with my $1 million salary, that would be a problem in itself. Since when are you supplementing that income? And this is a woman that's teaching kids.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to count anybody else's money. You don't. Whatever's in their pocket is in their pocket. The lady made 1,042,000 last year. Hats off to her. Hope she put some of it away. Or now she can
And
go full time. She can go live during the day now. So
I just, here's my next part that I don't understand. She says, you know what? Going to a 9 to 5 job, it's been not being able to do that anymore. It's been really hard on my mental health.
yeah,
Not waking up every morning and going to work. I'm sitting on this $1 million, but I can't go to work anymore, and that's really been hurting my mental health. It's bad enough that the woman is supplementing 42 grand with $1 million. Now it's a mental health thing. What are we doing, people? What's going on
hey,
here?
you know what COVID did to a lot of people. They weren't going to their jobs. They didn't get out of their sweatpants. She needed a routine. She probably has a 6:30 cup of coffee and a 7:15 school bell. She needed that routine. So I don't hate I don't hate anything she says. We're going to find a way to tear people down. And absolutely, Susie again on this one. Would we rather her only been making 5 grand extra? We question how hard she was only fanning. Like there must
Right,
not be
right,
anything to see there. But now that
right.
she's making $1 million, I know that everybody's running out of this chat to go try to download OnlyFans to see what in the world they're missing.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I don't think me or you have a problem with her doing it. I just have the lie that she's telling about how she's supplementing her income. Come on now. Let's just be real. Just
Yeah,
say what it was for. Hey, I was out there doing my thing. I made a ton of cash. I got no more student loans. And I go,
right.
and somebody's daddy, because it was somebody's daddy or the school counselor, somebody like that saw her on there, probably gave her $1,000 to get nasty, and then all of a sudden ratted her out because their wife found it. They got on their
Yeah.
search engines and found he was searching and found the old school teacher on there.
Or one
Pathetic.
of her friends that said, "Hey, I kind of want to get into it." Dabbled on a weekend and made $25, and now the hate comes out. Right now, one of her other teacher friends who's trying to make ends meet, barely getting to work. She's like, "How do you do it? How do you have new shoes and purses all the time?" Well, OnlyFans. Let me get like you, and then hey. So
I understand.
hates are gonna hate. But speaking of that kind of topic, I think it's time to pull the band-aid off.
Yep, absolutely. So, Pornhub banned in Texas. Let me backtrack. It wasn't banned in Texas. The state legislator put in and passed a law that basically is forcing sites like Pornhub and some of their affiliates to not be available in Texas. To my surprise, because again, I'm a guy. Look, when we talked about doing this topic, I put in serious research. Like I went and I studied. I put in hours and hours just religiously digging in deep to find out exactly what was going on this site. And for the years that I have visited this, again, it's all for research. It's nothing but research, And for some reason, they cut it off. I don't like it. I don't know why, but I'm done. I'm a little upset. That they cut off. And it's only in Texas, Chris. It's only in Texas. It's not anywhere else. It's only in Texas.
Yeah. So, they blocked all Texas IP addresses from accessing Pornhub and all its subsidiaries, which is obviously the largest internet porn provider. What I thought was super interesting is the largest spike in Texas specific website searches was VPNs, which is a way to get around having a Texas IP address. So I don't know what they thought they were blocking, but I'm going to take a pretty unpopular stance here, and I'm going to side against Pornhub because all they asked for was reasonable age verification, and Pornhub and a lot of others then sued and said it was some sort of suppression of freedom of speech,
correct,
and all that kind of stuff, and then they lost that. But it violates the 1968 obscene materials sale to minors, and all they're asking is a reasonable age verification. Now we all know you can go on any website and say, "Click, I'm 18," but they want to, have you scan an ID and all this kind of stuff. Now I don't understand why. Again, the attorney general, everybody's so interested in what goes on in your bedroom, but I do think that there's got to be some sort of measures to prevent this. But let me tell you why I'm anti Pornhub on this one. Is they went from this stand, just like you didn't like the lady saying she was supplementing her income. Pornhub said, that it won't protect the children. It'll just reduce content creators' ability to share their artistic message. Now, okay, come on. You can say it's ineffective. You can say it costs too much money, but don't sit here and try to tell me that your content creators are artistic. I've been on there, and yes, for every one video there is of art, there is 100,000 that I wouldn't consider artistic at all. Not that I've watched 100,000 videos this year because it's only March, but what I'm trying to say is, you're the world's largest smut provider. Stop with the artistic message. Just put some protection in there that you do believe works. Okay.
Look, my thing, and I 1000% agree with you. Just say what it is. Look, if you got to scan an ID to be able to get on a site, you got to scan an ID to be able to get on a site. If you're willing to let your search history, because isn't it the old thing is that, hey, you want to block, first of all, you can always go incognito. Not that I would know, but I mean, I've done that just for research purposes. I've had to go incognito. But let's just say you skip that. It's kind of like your mom always wanting you to have clean underwear, when you get into a car wreck. So in case you do, you got on clean underwear. That's the same thing. You don't want people searching your search history. If you're embarrassed by it, then don't go there. But I'm guessing that people that are going there, again, the people that are going there, not me, but the people that do that, they're not worried about their search history. So go ahead and scan the ID. It's not that big a deal. Again, the artistic integrity. Give me a break. What I
Yeah.
mean, I mean,
Hold
the
on.
only artistic integrity is just some booty shaking. That's the only artistic integrity that I care about.
Yeah,
But that's
I
just
got it.
me.
I got to chime in on two things there, Brian. I have a tough time going from talking about Pornhub to you referencing your mom and clean underwear. Those two, things are just I don't like to
Jesus
shift
Lord.
topics like that. You know what I'm saying? I like to stay where we were. I don't bring anybody's mom into that conversation at all. But I do want, if we could bring up the comment from DJ that says he lost his favorite list, there probably needs to be some damages paid because there are some saved searches, to go to that go-to material. And then so there may be some restitution owed by the Attorney General of Texas.
Ooh.
He's not the only one out there. But you know, let me also tell you something else. If you can go and get your ID, at this moment, first of all, let's just call it what it is. If we could all go get our wallet at that moment, half of us wouldn't be here, right? Sometimes it's an impulsive decision. So, does it save my information? Because what if I've only got so much time?
Yeah,
Uh,
I
I was
mean,
just saying it's Sunday. Formula One race quite isn't on yet. You got 14, 15 minutes at my age. That's how long it takes to get warmed up. Who knows? So, you know, I don't know. And I don't want it saving my info because every now and then the Freaky Friday search might go down the rabbit hole. So, I think there's nobody out there that's not, not in support of some sort of reasonable age verification. But
correct.
I think we got to figure out what that looks like and not invite any more oversight into our shenanigans as it is.
Absolutely. Now, here's the thing. We've got a comment here from our friend Mallory. Even Cornhub channel was taken down. I've got questions. I've
Yes.
got a lot of questions on Cornhub, Chris. I don't know, Miss Mallory. We love you. Thank you for coming in. But if you're going to Cornhub, I'm going to say this, and I feel confident saying this. You might have a problem. You might have a problem, and you got to call somebody. Now, I don't know who to call, but if you're going to Cornhub, and first of all, on Cornhub, if it's that and it's got to be taken down, I mean, it probably should be taken down. Damn it! Let's just be real. If Cornhub's out there and it had to be taken down, it should have been taken down.
Well, for the less experienced out here, Brian, I want to let you know that Cornhub is not people making love to vegetables. Okay,
Ah,
it's just another of the subsidiaries of channels that get you to some searches. So
aha.
and it's ones that's not blocked, by your Google search at work because the word corn is in it. So, but yeah, it's definitely not what you think. There's not a lady saying it in a field in Kansas, just going to Pound Town. Just so you're good.
Well, I mean, either way, don't. It's. I'm upset. I'm upset by that. Again, I had questions. I got
Right.
questions, but my question is, how do you know? How do you know what it is?
I'm on here for the relevant topical information that's non-sports related. And so where you said you did a bunch of research, I happen to have kind of already been on this topic for a lot of my life.
Ah,
Even dating back to the dial-up days when you had to wait.
oh, wow. Those are
Yeah,
bad. Those are hard times back in those days. Those were hard times.
yeah,
Pause.
literally.
Pause.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, those were bad, bad times, boy. The dial-up days,
yeah.
unbelievable. But yeah, again, I think everybody is in agreement that there's got to be some sort of age verification, and being upset by that just mean, I mean, in my personal opinion, then I think you're an asshole. I'll just say that. You don't think there needs to be some sort of age
You're right.
verification? Give me a break. I mean, it
Yeah.
is what it is. So
Yeah,
let's
and
move
and I
on,
think
man.
that
Ooh, go
one of
ahead.
the before we move on, I think one of the biggest things is when they come out with these things, you realize how much web traffic these sites are actually responsible for,
Correct.
and so it is flat out incredible, that 80% of the web traffic during non business hours is pornographic. So
I
state
mean,
of Texas is in trouble. That's why I'm going to bounce up to the border here at Choctaw Casino and see if I can just
Well,
get on a
it,
little cellular signal here in a second.
I was gonna say I've heard they're doing Airbnbs right on the other side of the border.
Absolutely.
45 minutes from the house. We
Yeah.
can always drive up there. You don't even have just get a little Airbnb. Here's the thing: I 1,000% believe that there would be people that actually do that. That hey,
Oh yeah.
I can't get my porn. I got to drive up to Oklahoma and stay the weekend and come
Right.
back with Popeye forearms.
For
Unbelievable.
every truck driver I see watching TV while they're driving, you know that they're going to be really upset when they cross over that border. You got to have
Because it
it
just shuts
downloaded.
off.
Got to have it on the hard drive before then. Jesus. Okay, I'm ready
Oh
to move on, big dog.
goodness. All right, man. Let's move on. Let's move on. So, NFL free agency, man. NFL free agency has gone crazy, just like it does every year. The one thing that has been surprising, Chris, is the running back market. Is that for the last couple of years, people have been not upset, but just kind of feel bad because running backs couldn't get deals.
Right.
Well, running backs got deals this offseason. They got paid. Now,
Yeah.
it wasn't stupid money like they weren't getting 15, $16 million a year, but they actually got deals, which is a good thing. Saquon Barkley got out of New York, that dumpster fire of a Giants franchise, and went to Philadelphia. Tony Pollard got a deal. Josh Jacobs got a deal.
Right.
All these running backs, even Derrick Henry. I mean, people said he's over the hill, which again, he ran for almost 1,100 yards with the horrible line. But
Right.
running backs, as a former running back, I think that's got to make you feel good, doesn't it?
It does. I think that you're seeing the value come back. And I think one of the biggest reasons is you look at the 49ers and everybody's realizing there's two ways to get there. You can have, an elite running back, which is probably going to be or elite running game, which is probably
Correct.
going to be as affordable as a superstar quarterback. And I think we figured out that last year everybody struggled to find that guy. In fact, a lot of those guys faltered on being that guy, Burrow and Allen and such. So I think that's what kind of rebounded is look, I'm going to get there with the proven commodity. We know Derrick Henry may be on the tail end of his career, but
Yep.
he's going to get me 1,000. He's going to be something that somebody's going to have to game plan against. Saquon is as explosive as they come, So injuries aside, I'm gonna hedge my bets. And the thing is, they didn't get crazy money, like you said, but they all got deals. They all found homes because everybody figured out. I think that you still need that. People need to know that you have a running game, you got a big play threat or a game plan they need to coach against. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that. But there's some winners and losers in free agency that we're going to talk about here in a second. And most of that doesn't have to do with the running back market.
No, it absolutely doesn't. There's the winners and losers in free agency. They vary every year, but this year I think it was teams that kind of went for it. Where a lot of times they do go for it, but I think it was in different spots this year. For instance, um, let's see some of the winners. Let's go over that. The Eagles, I think,
Yeah,
were winners. Look, they got Saquon Barkley. He's an upgrade at running back over DeAndre Swift. Even
yeah,
though Barkley's a little injury prone, but he is definitely a better overall running back. He's better. And we've never even seen Saquon run behind a good offensive line. Not one time. The Giants have been horrible. Um, think about the Texans got better. The Texans got a ton better with what
yeah.
they did in the offseason. Texans are going to be good. They're going to be scary good. Here's a low key move, Chris, that we didn't even talk
Okay.
about before the show. The Chiefs. Chiefs got better. Hollywood Brown is going to help the Chiefs. He's going to help them.
I would love 15 seconds to tell you why he's not. Okay.
Okay.
I think we saw Mr. Mahomes take the transition into his final form, and he became a much more disciplined and on time thrower late in the season, which was my biggest pet peeve is the scrambling around, doing too much. First of all, he runs like a girl, but second of all, he got a little spoiled with the Kelsey running essentially a get open, and then
Right.
Tyreek is a deep threat. I don't want him going back to the bailout deep ball. Sure, splash play. Sure, it looks good for fans and sells jerseys. But I think I saw him get the ball out on time, protect himself a little bit better. So other than Hollywood Brown spacing the field a little bit more and taking the top off the defense, I just hope he doesn't fall in love with the deep ball and maybe regress a step. I mean, he's still in the conversation as the best, but I'm just putting that out there.
Well, here's the thing: is Hollywood Brown. Yeah, he can take the top off of defense, but he can run decent routes. He's had a little bit of the dropsies, and that's,
Right.
I mean, but not near as much as what the Chiefs have had. So even if he just drops the normal number of passes that he always had, that's not near what the Chiefs had this past season.
Well, the
So
number the number gets multiplied when you go to Kansas City. We've seen that. It gets
true.
doubled. If you had the drops he's in, it gets worse. But go
Yeah,
on.
he's better than what they have. He's a definite upgrade over the wide receivers that they have currently. With him and Rashee Rice, I think that they are better. But the
Agreed.
Steelers also were winners. Look, they got two quarterbacks, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. I don't know if Russ just plays like he played this past year, it's a win for the Steelers. That's
Right.
the main thing. It's a win for the Steelers because he is better than Baby Hands Pickett. He's better than Mitchell Trubisky. Lord have mercy, and Mason Rudolph. So, and Justin Fields, we don't know yet, do we, Chris? We don't know if he can play.
We don't, and that's why I keep wondering why everybody says, "Oh, the Steelers won twice over." Yeah, I think Russ is an upgrade from Baby Hands, but I don't know. I don't know what Fields is, and so I don't know why everybody's so high on him. I'm not saying I don't see an upside. First of all, the guy's second or third fastest player on the field, and he plays quarterback. That always helps. But I don't know if I've seen him throw the ball on time, throw the ball to the open person, throw the ball away. Things that you got to do in the NFL to be a winner. So I don't know if Russ is going to teach it to him. I like the student and the teacher aspect, but how long can he wait? How much money is owed and things like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I would like for that to be a battle. Obviously, as a Steeler fan, I would like it to be a battle. I don't think it's going to be, but we'll see.
No,
You never know. Teams that lost, and again, I'm sure there's some other teams that won, like the Titans. We didn't talk about them, but the
the
Titans did get
Lions.
better. They got better. I don't know if Miami did, but I don't.
No,
Miami lost Christian Wilkins. That would be a team that I don't think got better. A team that's on the fence is the Bears. The Bears made some moves, good and bad. I lean towards the Bears got better. That's the way that I'm leaning in free agency. They got better, but they don't have a quarterback. So I assume that they're going to take Caleb Williams, but we'll see. But teams that did not get better, Chris, is Dallas. Lord have
no,
mercy, they did nothing. They
they
did
did nothing.
absolutely
So
nothing.
and the thing about these free agent moves, it's all about better on paper. So because we don't know how it's going to work out, and
Correct.
so my whole thing is they didn't even get better on paper. Did they really think they didn't need to make any moves? Or not?
No.
So that scares me a little bit. I don't know if the Bears got better. We know they threw away a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all that we do know.
But they didn't have
So
a good roster.
yeah,
So if you don't have a good roster and you get some decent players, I would hope that makes you better. I hope.
yeah. Ah, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah. So the Dolphins, I think they went all in. They couldn't afford to maintain it. What is it? The Van Winkle. I
Yeah.
forgot who they lost. So I think
And
that was
Christian
amazing.
Wilkins
So
too. Yeah, they lost Christian Wilkins and they didn't sign him because I know they got to sign Tua and they're going all in on offense. But for the reason that the Chiefs are the two-time defending Super Bowl champions is the
right,
reason that the Dolphins are never going to be, because you've got a defensive tackle that almost had 100 tackles in the season, which you never see from that position, dominates the offensive line, gets after the quarterback, and for some reason you decided, nah, we can't use that guy.
right,
That's why the Dolphins are the Dolphins. The Chiefs, they signed their all-world defensive tackle.
right,
The
right.
Dolphins, nah, we let them go.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
unbelievable.
try it again a little bit later. They're kind of all in, all out. They're got a guy who plays hard every now and then down the court. How I look at it.
Yes.
Um, you,
Suzanne
you, you
Claiborne chiming in.
oh yeah,
This is
because
their year. The Cowboys
we
Super Bowl bound.
we live in Dallas, and so you know how that is, right?
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Other winners that we don't think we talked about. Falcons, they addressed their two concerns you
They
talked about.
did.
They
They
addressed
did.
them both. And then the Lions, man. I think the Lions addressed
Yeah. Oh,
some
yeah.
some some deficiencies on defense.
Yeah.
And I think that was huge, So as far as the losers early, I can't fault the Cowboys for not doing anything. It looks bad. It looks like they were content. And then I'm going to go my surprise loser. Are you ready for this one here, sir?
Yep.
I think Baltimore is a loser. And I love Derrick Henry. and I love Lamar Jackson, but I don't know if that gives the dual threat that everybody thinks. I don't know if that gives it as much versatility as it looks like. So I am not really in on that Derrick Henry to Baltimore. I think there were some other places that could have made more impact. There it is. And I love them both. I just don't think that was the best fit for either one of them.
Well, here's the thing about Derrick Henry. First of all, I think you're right about Baltimore because Baltimore did lose a lot. They had to get rid of a lot. Lamar Jackson's contract's kicking in, so they lost a lot. Having said that, Derrick Henry's an upgrade over the running backs that they had in the running back room. So whether we talking about versatility or not, he's better than what they had. And they were already the number one rushing team in the league. So if he's better than they are, then it has to make them better, doesn't it?
I don't know. I mean, they had some freak injuries, but is Derrick Henry better than all three of the guys that they had, and then who they get at the end? Cook, right? Did I get that right? Who they had really late? Is
I
that
can't
the right?
remember.
Yeah, they added somebody right before the playoffs, and to no avail. But
Oh yeah,
is
Dalvin Cook.
yeah, there you go. Is that yes, they have the number one rushing offense because your quarterback's getting you 700 or 800 a year. I don't know if he took carries out of guys that give Lamar different looks. I love Derrick Henry because he's one of the guys that can do exactly what he tells you he's going to do. But I don't know if that's the different look that we need Lamar and his explosiveness to really benefit from. So
Well, I think it will because, and here's the reason why. People get on Lamar, say he can't do this, can't throw that, blah, blah, blah. But Lamar can throw to guys that are open.
yeah,
And play action pass with Derrick Henry in your backfield, guys are going to be running free. They're going to be one-on-one coverage, and they're going to be running free. If Lamar can't do that, which he's proven that he can, that's why they're better.
no,
Now,
that's
you're not
that's
going to throw it to Derrick Henry out of the backfield. He's not going to
no.
do anything like that. But play action, yes, guys are going to be wide open on
That
play
that's
action.
that's Andrews and Likely, but I mean, I don't know if any defensive back is really biting on that play action to come up
What?
and play and hit Derrick Henry. I don't know. You see a lot of guys stay at home on that one, and that's why he's 6 or 7 yards deep.
Well, and
Nobody
then
wants to
okay, then
flag
that's
it.
what you're just going to give up then. If
Yeah.
that's the case, because I get
Well,
what you're saying, that makes sense. Safeties are not just running downhill to go make that tackle.
yeah, for sure they won't be for
Gotcha.
sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, I
but
get you. I pick up what you're putting down. That makes
yeah,
sense. That
yeah.
makes sense. But
So
go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, so that's my surprise. I don't think it's a winner. I think Baltimore's sitting there in the same seat they were sitting in this year, and they're sitting home at the same time they were sitting home, and it just looks good, in March on paper.
Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I think Baltimore is going to be. They'll be better on offense. I think they lost a lot on defense, but we'll see. We'll see. It's going to depend because they need another receiver. So
Right.
it'll depend on who they get over there because Rashad Bateman is terrible. It can't run routes. So we'll see
Okay.
what they do. But it's be interesting. The offseason has been very good. I love the Atlanta move. I love that you brought that up and glossed over it. Atlanta fans are upset, Chris, because they think they paid Kirk Cousins too much money. But my
Hey,
thing is, everybody overpays in free agency. That's number one. Number two, you are a quarterback away from winning your division last year, and now you addressed it. People were screaming that they wanted Justin Fields, and my pushback on that was what you said and what we said earlier. You don't even know if Justin Fields can play. At least you know that Kirk Cousins can play, but
yeah,
Atlanta fans are upset.
yeah. Fields unproven, so Cousins is better than Fields, but they did overpay, right? And if this was the old Wild West, Kirk Cousins would have a poster up wanted because he's a known bank robber, right? I mean, you've seen all the memes, and I mean, he gets the bag everywhere he goes, and just slightly underperforms.
Right.
That's how I feel about it. Is so he's still worth a boatload of money, but not what you paid. So he pulled off another great heist, and he's going to be coming off of Achilles. So, I mean, I don't even remember if it was which plant foot or not. I forgot.
I don't know.
Um,
It don't
but
matter. He got the best agent in the history of the NFL.
yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. That guy's
Jeez.
getting 6% of a billion every time. So
Golly. I think they said he's made almost $400 million in his NFL career for one playoff win, Chris. One
yeah,
playoff win,
yeah,
$400 million. Absolutely insane.
yeah.
It's
I
just
mean,
insane.
it may be too early for the fraud of the year alert, but okay.
It's absolutely insane. Let's move on. Last topic of the day. So, TikTok is
Yeah,
possibly going to get banned.
yeah.
Now, as a person that is on TikTok every day, and putting out information and content and all that kind of stuff, I don't like it, Chris. I don't like it. We're not a political show, so we're never going to talk politics and stuff like that. But America or Congress trying to force a company to sell because apparently, which it's not owned by the Chinese, because it
Right.
isn't, but because there's some Chinese people that are involved, all of a sudden they're saying it's for public safety and your information safety. I got a news flash for you, people. Twitter sells your information to the Chinese. Facebook sells your information to the Chinese. Anytime you buy anything online, your information gets sold to the Chinese. So banning TikTok isn't going to stop any of that stuff from happening. I think it's an absolute waste of time.
Uh, yeah, I agree with you on this one, and mainly because the proliferation of misinformation
Oh,
is huge. So yeah, it's owned by what is it? ByteDance, which isn't even a Chinese company,
correct.
and they gave them 6 months to sell it. Or they're going to lose the access to the app stores, which we all know that's all that matters. If you can't get
Correct.
it the app and stop supporting it on your phone, it's might as well be gone. The House overwhelmingly passed it already. The Senate is moving a little slower, and then President said he's going to pass it if they do. I think what we're really missing here is why.
Right.
This can't be, guys. Well, the Chinese, it gives them another way to steal our data. It's already banned in a lot of other countries for other reasons. I think that it's got 170 million users, which means literally half of us are on TikTok, half of the
Correct.
United States. So I think it's about they don't want us to be too influenced, and Darren actually dabbled in it right there. One way or another, TikTok has too much of a pull because people won't do their own research. And so they just don't want TikTok to be able to influence 170 million, which let's go ahead and rule out a lot of senior citizens aren't on TikTok, and then any toddlers on there. So you've got a huge economic impact. You've got everybody with a job and paying taxes that could learn some fuzzy math from TikTok, and they're not going to go check it. They're just going to go do it, right?
Correct.
And I think that that's really what it's about. But I think it's what blows me away, I guess I'm going to say this, is the speed in which they can move on something like this, but nothing that we really need any help on. Any
Exactly.
sort of inflation relief, any sort of safety concerns, which you guys know what they are. We can't get anybody to go across the aisle and vote, but unanimous pass the TikTok ban in 8 hours or whatever it is. What? And it's because they
Yeah.
don't understand it, and because the thought of freaking uh, Chinese accent. Let's be honest. If they are the second most evolved tech company and country in the world, they probably can get our info from anything, right?
Exactly.
How many hacks has Wells Fargo had, and T-Mobile just gave up the bag for getting hacked. If
Yep.
they got your T-Mobile, they got every app that's on T-Mobile and your banking info and how you voted last time and everything like that. So this is flat out insane how fast it's moving, but it's interesting. So it makes the news cycle.
Yes, absolutely. It's just silly. Like I said, I enjoy TikTok a lot, especially getting in there and sending some of the craziness to the group chats that I'm in with you into other people. I just think it's all fun and games, and that's why I'm on there. I send out TikTok information. I put out content every day, and I see other content on there every day. I think it's fun. I think it's hilarious. I never take anything serious from it. But the
No,
problem is, Chris, you know that I would say 65 to 70% of people do take some of that stuff serious. And that's where the problem comes in, is because let's just call it what it is. We're not a nation of the most intelligent people, or I shouldn't say unintelligent, but gullible people
Right.
that will believe the misinformation that's out there, and it becomes a problem. Darren put it perfectly, said that they don't want them to get into the election cycle. It is what it is. If it gets banned, which I don't think it is, because now you're talking about making somebody sell a company in
Right.
order for you to do business in America. Well, where does it stop? I mean,
Well, I
are you
mean,
going to make all Chinese companies sell before
yeah.
they can do, work in America? Is that what you're going to do? Because that's the pushback.
And it
That's the
has
pushback.
nothing to do with the Chinese company because there's a couple things that I spend all my time researching cars and speakers and guns, right? And the Chinese cars are coming, and everybody's afraid of them. They're not going to stop the sale of the Chinese EVs coming over here. So,
Correct.
and we all know that they're going to have dynamic driving aids and everything from Apple CarPlay and all that kind of stuff. So if you can bring a battery powered car that literally can access every public network over here, this isn't about the Chinese having access to the information. Yeah, Susie hit on it there. It's about access to lobbyists and things like that. So being that I do like a couple of different hobbies. One of the funny things I've noticed is you can't show a gun on TikTok, right?
Correct.
But you can show it on YouTube. But all
Yep.
the gun channels got lesser monetization on YouTube. Well, at what point are we, and I don't, not about the gun debate, but at what point is who controlling what we can and can't see? And, I don't think you can stop an idiot from being misinformed, no matter how many outlets you try to block.
Correct.
Dumb people can walk down the wrong side of the street and still think they were going on the right side, despite the traffic in front of them.
Correct.
So, and hence all the signs and wrong way collisions and all that. But I don't know what we're really trying to do, and I think that what we got to do as a country or as a collective connected audience is figure out why are they really trying to do this,
Gotcha.
and
Yeah.
and maybe it is going to be for my best benefit or my kids or grandkids' best benefit, but most likely it's some form of control that I don't understand and comprehend, and they're just trying to get ahead of us. But if they do somehow do this TikTok ban or ByteDance has to sell in 6 months, Big B and I'll still be on YouTube, and I guess we'll have to go to Reels, or I'll have to finally get Facebook or something like that. But we'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out. I mean, instant replay is not going anywhere. We are not
Nah,
going anywhere. We are literally just getting started. So, but
and
now it's time. We're going to throw out the final poll of the evening.
And just
Who?
remember, folks, I need this three-peat just, well, one for morale, for victory. I want to thank all of you guys that voted last week. I didn't really get to do my
Where's the mute button?
acceptance speech because B played me off, but I want to thank everybody that made it possible. Shout out to mom and dad for just making some magic happen a long, long time ago and really helped me along. So I just, I need the three-peat, folks,
I
is what I'm trying
mean,
to tell you.
I mean the pomp and circumstance. I thought you weren't a pomp and circumstance type of person. I mean, what
I,
are we doing here? What are we doing?
I am when it benefits me.
Aha. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it
Yeah.
now. But, going back to, and we're done with the TikTok ban stuff, going back to the most important topic of the night, Pornhub.
Absolutely.
I mean, look, again, as I mentioned before, look, I did the research, people. I've done the research to help you. And I only did it for you guys, just so
Right.
you guys could figure out what's going on. I didn't want anybody getting in trouble. I didn't want anybody, worrying about their search histories or anything like that. I decided I will do the research to see what all this hullabaloo is all about. To see what all of this is all about. I dug in, and I mean, it was pretty much exactly what I thought it was going to be. And I'll tell you what, I have never been more happy about it in all my
Yeah.
days. It's
Yeah.
I've never researched a topic that I've been more proud to do. And since we've done, and since I've been doing, social or media stuff, social media stuff, I've never been more engaged. I should say more engaged in a topic than what I was to find out for the people. For the people.
Yeah. Shout out to Kyle. We used to call him Hollywood back in the day. Shout out Hollywood. He said, "Thanks for your hard work." That's hella pause on that one. Pause,
Jesus,
Kyle.
come
But
on,
yeah,
Kyle. Lord
yeah.
have mercy.
Hey,
What's wrong with you?
but
There's
yeah, no,
kids
no.
in here.
There's a lot of people asking that about your research, and so I'll spare them. That that he's still working on it, folks. There's countless categories, so he'll let you know when he gets to the bottom of that one.
Yes. It's just I I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for you guys. I don't want you guys to have to do the research on this. I will do it. Don't worry about it. Just text me. Anything you need to know, I'll be within reason. Because there's some freaks out there. I'm not doing anything like that. I just want people to be comfortable. Be
Yeah,
comfortable and see what I'm missing. To see what I'm
sure.
missing in Texas. They're robbing us, man. They're just
Yeah.
robbing us. I don't
Well,
get it. I don't get
they're
it.
robbing you. Remember, I'm headed to Choctaw right now, so all
Oh yeah,
good.
that's right. I forgot about that. They got an Airbnb that just right on the other side of the border. A little Airbnb up there. The problem with that is, you know how many people have rented that thing out? My God, it's like a
Yeah,
cesspool in there.
yeah. Don't bring a black light.
Jeez Louise. Well, yeah, just to clean some of this up, people, and I appreciate everybody. We both do. We appreciate everybody again supporting us and being here. Continue to tell our friends about what's going on. Unbelievable. Oh no. Big B 64%, or
No,
actually
no. Oh,
54.
I thought
Whoa,
it was 54
whoa.
CC. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Oh
look,
my gosh. They closed the poll early. I know there's more than 11 people out there. That
we
is
talked
unbelievable.
earlier. We talked earlier about voter fraud. We cleaned up the voter fraud, people. We cleaned it up. And this is the result. Okay. Once you clean up voter fraud, you stop all the mail-in ballots, you get all the mail-in ballot, all that garbage out of there, and this is the result. I'm just saying. And I want to thank you people again out there for respecting my research that I did on the main topic of the evening. You guys, you felt what I was trying to do for you. Anytime that I can help out one certain viewer out there, you know who you are. Hey, baby. But anything that I can do to help, I appreciate everybody. I love everybody. That's why we started all of this. I mean, it's good to be back where you belong. Isn't it, Chris? Isn't it good to be back where you belong? Me on top. And well, hold on. Pause.
Pause.
Wait a
Hella
second.
pause.
Wait a second.
Pause. And this is your champ. This is your king. Come on, guys. Man.
I mean, well, you know the people, you know the goon squad. Lord have mercy. If you lose, they will jump on you and turn on you so quick. Lord have mercy. I love it. I love it. See, maximum effort, baby. See that somebody respects the game. Okay, somebody respects the game. I get it. I get it. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody. Thank you guys for joining, and thank you guys for sticking with us and spreading the word. We appreciate it. Continue to do that. Like we said, like, subscribe, comment after the show in the comment section. Please do that. Set the notification bell, all that good stuff. We will be back again next Tuesday at 8 p.m. To do this thing all over again. And hopefully we do it better and we can make you laugh. So we appreciate it, and aloha.